Christian Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents The Cost of Ambition, How Striving to Be Better Than Others Makes Us Worse, by Miroslav Volf, narrated by Tom Parks. Beware of the scribes who like to walk around in long robes and to be greeted with respect in the marketplaces and to have the best seats in the synagogues and places of honor at banquets. They devour widows' houses and, for the sake of appearance, say long prayers. Jesus, Mark chapter 12, verses 38 through 40. Love, says my Lord Rochefoucauld, is commonly succeeded by ambition, but ambition is hardly ever succeeded by love. That passion, when once it has got entire possession of the breast, will admit neither a rival nor a successor. Adam Smith, The Theory of Moral Sentiments. Pride is essentially competitive. Pride gets no pleasure out of having something, only out of having more of it than the next man. We say that people are proud of being rich, or clever, or good-looking, but they are not. They are proud of being richer, or cleverer, or better-looking than others. C.S. Lewis, Mere Christianity. Mira, as she saw that she was losing, I don't want to play anymore. But when you win, someone else loses. Mira, there should not be games in which anyone loses. My daughter, when she was 5. Preface. I am not sure when I started thinking that striving to be better than someone else, striving for superiority, is a problem. Started might not be quite the right word. Perhaps a better way to put the uncertainty would be to say that I don't know when I abandoned the heresy that striving for superiority is a great good, and returned to the implicit faith of my early childhood. I never heard my parents or my saintly nanny encourage me to outdo anyone in anything or praise me for having done so. In the Volf household, as I later realized, it was assumed that we ought to do things well, that the apartment ought to be impeccably clean, my mother, and the chocolate spread on the torte perfectly flat and the intricate icing just right, my father. Whether we did things better than others should not matter. Other people were not our measure. It often did, of course, matter, certainly for me, and to my shame, it still does. I first publicly argued that striving for superiority is not as valuable as often assumed in October 2019 at the Second Global Congress on Sport and Christianity in Grand Rapids, Michigan. In my keynote address, I expanded on an unpopular thesis. Though the monetary and reputational value of successfully striving for superiority in sport can be great, Lionel Messi, then the highest-earning athlete and among the most famous people in the world, was my example, the moral value of such striving is, at best, questionable. Accompanied as it often is by chest-beating and I am the greatest kind of strutting, striving for superiority seemed to me at odds not just with my parents' example, but, more importantly, with the spirit and the letter of the Christian faith, an affront against the humility that ought to mark it. When choosing the topic of my address, I thought to myself, let's stir up some controversy. After the lecture, the problem of striving for superiority would not let go of me. The tension between the goods that come from it on the one hand, and the actual damage to ourselves and our world that it causes on the other. Consider just 2 examples. One comes from the history of ethical growth. At the end of Cosmic Connections, Charles Taylor traces the historical working out of core ethical insights common to human beings. He notes that some important insights have bred egregious self-images of superiority over other peoples and civilizations, which have in turn legitimized much injustice. A sense of European superiority both inferiorized other peoples and legitimized centuries of violence against them, most horrendously exemplified in the slave trade. The other example is about the effects of striving for superiority on our sense of self-worth. For a more comprehensive list, see
Sample complete. Ready to continue?